Hi, I'm Dominic. This is my channel, and I just want to quickly recap on some of the objectives of this channel. Of course, others will arise as sort of needed, or as things sort of transpire, as it were. Now, we've already started to have a look. We've done there's actually 9 sections of this development of a musical sketch, which is quite important to me. And so we're looking at that. But interspersed with looking at the development of a musical sketch, I'll also be editing an orchestration piece. And I've got 2 basically on the board, as it were, for editing. One is a so-called Abbey theme, which is for the full orchestra, and the other is octet for 2 cellos, 2 violas, and 4 violins. So that's in A major, and movement 1 is sort of ready to be editing. In fact, edited. In fact, the editing process is nearly complete, and I'll just play this whilst we're kind of rabbiting on. And it will pop, of course, because the system can't really take recording of screen and playback of Reason 7 file. I've got a more powerful system as well, which I will use. And also I'm going to do refill Reason reviews. I'll shove some refills on the rack, and we'll have a little look at that. And also I want to do some live streaming of my live sets. I've got like 10 different live sets, Reason files set up for live play, and I thought that'd be quite nice to do a live show and just sort of practice doing it, because I'm going to be doing some live sets on the basis of the one I've already done, and I've been asked back to do some more, so that's kind of nice. Also I might do like a patch a week and look at some of my efforts to create a Reason patch of some complexity, inspired, of course, by the wonderful Highglide, but not ever reaching his standard, obviously. But anyway, trying to emulate that kind of standard. And so that's kind of a little précis of the objectives of this particular channel. You're actually now listening to the octet in A movement 1, sonata allegro form, or based a bit on it anyway, and popping away there. So I'm going to actually have to move that to the more powerful system in order to be able to listen to it and discuss it on camera, as it were. And so that's twiddling away in the background. So plenty of things to do, and I'll intersperse all these. I'll pursue a sketch, for a couple of weeks, and then a couple of days, and then I'll change to editing the orchestration piece, which is quite interesting, and then I'll do a review. So I'll kind of mix and match and jumble it all up to make it the content a bit more interesting, And one thing I will say, when I'm actually listening to this in the background, it kind of feels to me like a little bit, the rhythmic pulse of this piece is a little jagged, I have to say, even given the limitations of the Reason refill, the strings library that I'm using. That's interesting. I haven't listened to it for weeks, you see. And that's very, very, just a quick tip there, always take your time and always leave stuff and then go back to it, because it's amazing how much you will see. I think you get too close to a piece as you're editing it or creating it, and you can't see the wood for the trees, or you can't see the bigger picture at all. And then when you leave it for a few weeks and you go back to it, your critical faculties are at their highest, and you can say, oh, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's... You just literally come up with a list of all the things you have to improve straight away, whereas you just wouldn't be able to pick any of that up if you listen to it all the time and just kept slogging away at it. So do take lots of long rests with regard to pieces of music, especially to art music, so classical music, because there is just so much that you can tweak, so much that you can get wrong, as it were, so much that is inadequate and fails to meet your own standards. I guess that's true of electronic music, EDM music. I mean, people take 6 weeks to do a hi-hat sound, and things like that. So production-wise as well, loads of things that you can do to get the production just as you want it, and to really meet the highest possible production standards, which is what you want always. And certainly the highest composing standards must be reached as well. So, take your time. I mean, give yourself lots of time. This isn't scoring for a film, so it isn't, we haven't got to do it in 6 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever. This can take a long time. Now this piece is settling down to be quite nice now, but before that I kind of was picking up a few jagged edges there, and but it could be a problem of articulation, which I think does come back to the use of library or sample library. Do get a good sample library. Possibly I will have to do that and go into Studio One using a Kontakt-based library rather than relying on libraries for Reason, which I have to say are somewhat lacking in the orchestral genre. Okay. And I will move this file I've got to the more powerful system so we don't get these pops and jutters. Okay, thank you very much. And that was a little vlog interlude just to explain the objectives of my channel.